Hi everyone, it's Portly. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a long time since I recorded something, but I told my friend this story last night and it kind of brought back feelings. So I'm like, oh, I gotta come online and tell it to the people who listen to my podcast. So I'm back and I want to tell you the story. So it's gonna be about Korea and Jeju specifically. So let's dive right in. So Jeju is people call it like the Hawaii of South Korea. So when you go, it's like the weather is beautiful. It's like tropical. You'll see palm trees. There's so many beaches and things to do. It's definitely a vacation spot for people. There are so many flights from Seoul going to Jeju all the time. And you can even take a boat, which is what I did on my first trip to Jeju. So honestly, Jeju is the spot to be. But recently, there's been some scary news coming out of Jeju. So recently, 4 bodies have been found, and one of them belonged to a woman named Jang Mi-ran, and she was 37 years old. She went missing in May of 2026, and when she went missing, the next day, her boyfriend reported her missing, and shortly after that, a police officer with the surname Boo, he reached out to the boyfriend and said, yes, I've been in contact with her. She is fine. She is safe, but she does not want to reach out to you. And then after that, her family then went in to file a missing persons report. And they kept looking for her after that. However, that police officer, he closed the case at the time. And he said that when he wrote on the documentation that they found, he wrote that she died during a traffic accident. But recently, so this is 104 days later after she went missing, they actually found her body, and it was about 500 meters from the hotel accommodation where she was staying. And they found it in I think they called it a plantation, a palm tree plantation area. So she was found dead, which is super scary. But they also found other bodies, which makes it even more scary. So on Saturday, they found the body of a missing 60-year-old man, and they found that his case was also handled by that police sergeant with the last name Boo. And he had also closed that case prematurely, saying that he had spoken to that man. He told that man's family, yes, I've spoken to him, but he does not want to disclose his location. And police have found out that this was not true. So the Korean Herald found there are no phone records showing that he had ever spoken to Jang Mi-ran or this missing man's ever at all. So that story that he was telling to the families was not true. So since the story has come to light, that police sergeant has been arrested, and police are now examining all the missing person cases that he has handled, which are nearly 300. And this is actually even about him, more information about him, which is so concerning. In 2023, that Officer Boo, he was accused of domestic violence, and this prompted an internal disciplinary review, but ultimately he just received a warning and no further disciplinary action. But then more recently, he was accused of entering a woman's restroom at the police station where he worked. And that led to him being removed from duty, which happened a few weeks before they found out that he was tampering with the missing persons cases. So very, very crazy. Now, a lot of people, though, are coming out with stories about their experience in Jeju. So if you go on Reddit, you will see tons of stories of people telling their scary experiences. So there's been one woman who said she went to Jeju with some friends, and they ended up eating at a Korean barbecue place. and it was really late at night. So they were the last ones in the restaurant. So when they were getting ready to leave, the restaurant owner like asked like, how are you going to get home? And they just said, oh, we live really nearby. And then, they left and they were outside and they started walking. But then the restaurant owner, it's a woman, she pulled up and she said, no, no, like I want to take you home. It's not safe for you to walk. So they said no, but then, she kept insisting and they said, okay. Then they got in their car and she drove them right to their home, where they were staying actually. And she told them like, whenever you go out at night, like don't walk. No matter how close your accommodation is, do not walk. Always take a taxi, because she was like, there's a lot of people being murdered and going missing in Jeju, but no one speaks about it. So, so scary. And then, so this, honestly, I read this story maybe like on Monday, because they found Jang Mi-ren's body on Monday. So it took me a few days to clue in like to my story. So I remember going to Jeju with my close friend, I had the best of time. It was so much fun. We rented a car, so she drove. We went to the beach a lot. We had Korean barbecue. Like we went sightseeing like to this beautiful like mountain. Oh, like so picturesque. And like we would stop and get snacks. Oh, it was just so much fun. And I had the best of time. And however, I remember like, so something about me is like, if I have like this feeling, whatever it is, like if I'm happy, I'll say it all the time. I'm like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm happy. Like just as the day's progressing, say I'm doing something fun, I'll just say it over and over again. I'm happy. I'm happy. Or like if I go out to eat and like we're eating and like I'm done, like I'm full at that point, I'm like, oh, I'm full. But then I will say it again and again. And I know like to some people, maybe this could be annoying, but like I honestly cannot even help it. So, I remember we'd go out in the morning and we'd come back like late at night. And I don't know why, but sometimes I think I said it a lot and I couldn't even help myself, but I would just say, I'm scared. And it would, like, my friend's driving was perfect. So it had nothing to do with her driving. And I know she'll remember this because I think it annoyed her. So yeah, if you'll listen to this later and you tell me if you remember this, but I would say I'm scared a lot. And I couldn't tell you why. It was just like this feeling. And it didn't even click to me because I just say things like, honestly, I couldn't even tell you why. But I remember one night we were coming back really late from somewhere. I think we had gone to the beach maybe. And we were coming back really late. And I remember we had to stop the car for some reason. Oh no, I think we'd come back from this beautiful, picturesque mountain place that we'd gone to sightsee. But it was pretty far from where we were staying. So we were coming back and we'd stopped in this small town. And it was really cool, but it was like very deserted. Like there was no one around. And I remember we had stopped the car and just like, we wanted to check something. And I remember we had opened, I even took my shoes off in the car. I was so comfortable. And we'd stopped the car and we were looking at the car. And I just remember just sitting there, just saying, I'm scared. I'm scared. And I said it like a lot that night. And like nothing was wrong, but it was very dark. There was no one around, no lights and stuff. It was just like, we're also in a roundabout where we had stopped, like near where we had stopped the car. And like, I just had this feeling. But I would still say that was the best trip ever. But I remember that so vividly, just saying it over and over again for no reason, but I'm scared. And now that this story has come out that there was a serial killer, or there is a possible serial killer in Jeju going around murdering people, people being kidnapped, and just like it's not being spoken about is crazy to think about. And oh yeah, just so super super surreal. And now if you go on Reddit and you like go around like the people going, all the sites that talk about people going on vacation to Korea, there'll be so many people right now saying, I'm going to Jeju. Should I be scared? Should I not go? So this is, yeah, definitely concerning for, I guess, people who've been there, people who are planning to go. Yeah, super, super scary story coming out of Jeju right now. I also want to add something that I also found interesting. So basically, now that the police are under scrutiny for this case, there's like right now the police in general in Korea are like they're under a lot of pressure because the Korean government just released a bill that's basically taking away investigative power from the prosecutor's office and giving all that power to the police. And I think for a lot of us from the West, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because like this is how it works, I think, in Canada, and maybe in the US, I'm not too sure. But in Canada, the prosecutor's office is there, like they prosecute the cases in court, like, right? So we have the prosecutor and we have the defense. And in Korea, though, the prosecutor's office has investigative power. Like they will go out and investigate cases, like investigate murder, investigate like theft, robbery, crimes, and things like that. And the president has said like there's been years of corruption in the prosecutor's office where the prosecutor has been like, I guess, burying cases that maybe they don't want to come to light. Maybe their influential friends have done things and they don't want it to come to light. So they'll bury those cases. But then if there's someone that they want to, I guess, wrongfully target, they're doing that too. So like if there's someone they want to go to jail, they'll make up crimes and investigate for them for those crimes and then prosecute them. And this is so interesting because I was watching a TV show called Prosecutor's Proposal. It is a BL drama, Korean BL drama. Go watch it. I haven't finished it, but I loved it. It was so cool. So it's basically about this young guy working in the prosecutor's office. And so far, I've seen that he was in like, he wasn't high up in the prosecutor's office. Like he was in one, like, I think he was working in the finance department maybe, and collecting like fines and stuff. But then he meets one of the top prosecutors in that office, and that guy kind of pushes through his promotion, and like his whole team is like, what the heck, we've been here longer than you have, why are you getting promoted? And so he starts working with that guy, and then they form a relationship. However, that young guy, his father is in jail for murdering a woman, and that top prosecutor knows about it. So it's like a whole thing. Very suspenseful because we start to find out that the top prosecutor is related to that case, his father's case somehow. So it's really interesting. So Prosecutor's Proposal, you should watch it. But yeah, definitely when I was watching that, I was like, wait, why is the prosecutor's office like investigating things? Like there was like a murder happening around this famous casino in one of the episodes, and I'm like, it was like kind of mind-boggling because I'm like, usually the police is the one who goes out and investigates, but in this case, it was the prosecutor's office. So this is just interesting now because the prosecutor's office in Korea is losing that power for real, and it's going back to the police. But in this case, we're seeing that the police isn't actually really doing their jobs. So like we have this police officer who's prematurely closing cases. I don't know, to make his numbers look good, or because he doesn't want to do work, or even because he himself is involved in the crime. So this is just, yeah, definitely really crazy. So yeah, if you're interested, go check out Prosecutor's Proposal so you can, yeah, I guess understand a little bit more about Korean's justice system, even though it's changing now. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you for tuning into this story. I'll probably be back with more stories, maybe another Korea story next time. So thank you for tuning in.